Hello guys, here with another video. This time talking about the healing add-on Luna unit frames and the cursive. So I think we start with Luna. This is a very good add-on and there is quite a lot into it, but I'll go with the most important things that you need to know. So if you go to configuration mode, this is the way I set up my read frames, but you can change them any way you want. I'm actually not even using the same setup on Overlook, it's different. So one of the best things with this add-on is that it has mouse over macros, and I'll show you one for example. So if we look at these macros, the dispel macro for example, you basically just put Lunamo and name of the spell and rank, just like it's in this line here. That's all you need. You have to rename, you have to make macro for all the spells you want to use. I'm not sure what that's there. Okay, we put the dispel there. It will change to your actual spell. It will look the same as your spell. And let's see if it works. Mouse over the rogue. I'm in duel, so I'll try to dispel him. There you go. Dispelled. Nothing to dispel now. So that's really handy for dispelling in the raid if you want to dispel specific people, as for example in Modern Core, Baron, just anything really. So you can use, I have all of them in mouse over anyway, so if you look at this is my shaman, I'm not targeting him. Press the spell, heals. You can target anything. You don't have to target anything, you just heal straight from the UI. Probably a lot of you already know about this, but I'm sure some people are still clicking on people and then casting their thing, then trying to target another person, which adds a lot of time in your casts. And we are not riding like back in 2004 when you had big tanks with full tank protection gear, protection spec, when you have like 10 seconds to cast one heal. Now you just kind of have to be fairly quick, as the tank are just focused on generating more threat with a lot less health and defense and the spec itself whatsoever. So we're talking about Dispel, so I'm gonna continue about talking about Dispel, Decurs and whatsoever. This obviously works for Decurs as mages and druids as well, and again the mouse over things also work. So decursive, this is the add-on I'm using for decursing. There you have a priority list, skip list and options menu. So in the options menu you need to check this current random order and priority list. So usually you just put your tanks. This is names of tanks on this server, but you can clear the priority list for specific fights, quickly populate, and as I was saying again, Baron for example and Chromagus, where you have like a specific assignment for with cryptic spells, or not even assignment but just dispelling specific classes. You can quickly populate your priority list. priests, shamans, mage, druid, warlocks, hunters. That's all the mana users. That didn't work for some reason. Try again. Not sure why it's not. Okay, it does work. Just doesn't show the names. Sorry, it doesn't show names because there is no one with no one in the raid. Just myself. So I think I was on the wrong option as well. Priest, shaman. Yeah, and then you see as you select those, every group or class is gonna appear here. All the names from that group or class, whatever you choose, with the populate option, and then you can clear it and add the tags again, or you can choose by group, which that's what our assignments are for spinning usually. So group one is all these people that are in this group, obviously. As simple as that, and then all I need is decursive. Decursive, it's a macro. Doesn't matter how you spell it, but that's the macro. And you just need to press your macro, and it's gonna do it for you. Again, you don't have to target. It's very quick because you're not targeting yourself. It targets all the people in the well, basically everyone, unless you have a priority list or a skip list. So you can also decide. You can also, let's say you had two groups you needed to cleanse on Chromagus. You add them as your priority, or you can go. Sorry. You can go on skip list and skip every other group but the groups on your list on your assignment. So you just populate it, and let's say you have group 2 and 4, and you just go and select all the other groups, and it's going to skip all the other groups, and you just dispel the groups that you have. If you don't do anything to the add-on and just use the macro, it's gonna dispel every single person in the raid in random order as we clicked. And that's very quick. All we need to look is that people are in range. If they're not in range, it does, as you see this message here, it will tell you that they're not in range or something like that. So that's with the priority and all that. You can just clear it again. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. All you need the macro, decursive. When you start decursing, no need to worry about looking for people. You can also use the, if you don't like it, if you don't like using add-on, you can always use the manual dispel, which is a bit slower, but sometimes could be better. And I think that's all about these add-on. It's very it's very simple once you get the priority list and all. It's not just for priests, but it's for everyone who can decurse or dispel or cleanse poison or anything like that. I don't think it drops poison cleanse totem. It's just for the single target. So that's all about this add-on here. Sometimes you will probably go and press hide by accident, this is what you need to show it again. I always forget about this, so I have to Google it. But TCR show, and there it is. And you can just click right button, and it hides the options in case you click them on by mistake, you know. So let's continue with that. Again, about Luna. Luna is just really amazing add-on. You have extortionate amount of options. Class colors, that's the first one. I just leave it as it is because it's just too much to play about. This is where you select your player, targets, player, pet, target, target, and target of target. So, as you can see, there is a huge amount of options to customize this particular frames and size them the way you want. Once you go to configuration mode, you can move all this stuff and put them wherever the fuck you want. Some people just put them in the middle of the screen so they can't see anything else, because they don't need to see anything because they don't do anything. But anyway, configuration mode disabled. So target of target. You also have the healing prediction on here as well. I think I forgot to mention about the healing prediction. So as you cast, you see a heal coming. It's a heal cone. So whenever someone is casting heal on a player, you see it here, start glowing green. So if you see that someone is already casting, and it kind of shows how much is going to top up, then you just use stop cast macro. I forgot to mention. I'm just gonna explain about stop cast macro now if I find where it is. What does it say? Stop cast. There it is. That's the macro. So I have it bound on my on the wheel button, my mouse, so I can just spin it up and it's gonna stop drinking is rolling it down. Another thing about that button, it's very good for, I am sure that a lot of people don't know about this, but you can run and drink water. And I can demonstrate that to you. So, because you're constantly rolling, it's a lot easier to use the run down button. So, let's try and run and drink. It's a bit tricky, but once you get it, you can use it in raids and drink while you run. It does work on Everlook. It didn't work on the early patches, but it works now. Well, it worked a few patches before. So you start spinning your button. There we go. I'm running and drinking. But you cannot turn and you cannot click your mouse. You can move. As soon as they press something, it's gonna stop. Okay, I think that is self-explanatory. That's about it. I'll show you again. You just have to be quick. As soon as you press the button, you have to, sometimes you just have to stop a few times and keep trying. But it's definitely, obviously, a very good thing. And I don't think I've seen anyone else do it in our raids. I'm not sure. But I've not seen Alaniel. I think probably he knows about it, but anyway, let's continue. Okay, so if you go to raid, obviously that's gonna be the most important one for healing. So you can have boss to track in the raid frames. So you see how Marco do Spirit and Fortitude. That's pretty much all I want to see. But as I've already made a video about rare buffs, I can also see it in here. But I just like to see the priest buffs as well, and mark it out because that's kind of the most important buffs. So there is more options here that I want to show you. Track heal over time. Okay, I don't know why this was not clicked, but we want to track heal over time. That is HOTS, basically. What do you call it? And if you go with your mouse over macro, so you see how quick is holding people with the mouse over, not targeting anyone. Otherwise you have to go do that. You can still do it quick because it's very close. Obviously these two people and the frame is very close. But if you're going someone else, it'd be hard. So this red dot, this is one of the best things as well. This is player's aggro. I'm targeting this person in my room, so I have aggro from him, or at least it shows that because we're in duel. Let's see if he's gonna show him as well. No, I think it's something to do with the duel, but this in raids, this is what you're looking for, and this allows you to precast as well. Well, start casting very quick even before, because if usually if he has aggro, he will take some damage unless lip or something like that, and you have a lot more time to react if the mob is not gonna hit him right away. For example, if he's running towards him, let's say some warlock just had a massive crit with Shadow Vault and the mob is running towards him, you can go and shield the player or just be ready to cast heals, and always be careful. Fade is one of the best spells for priest, so you can pre-fade and heal, or as soon as you see you're gonna see this, if you see this on your character or on your frame anywhere, I have aggro running add-on as well. If you see that, just the best thing to do is fade really quick and always have a lip. I don't have here because I don't. That's flasks. I don't have a lip here because I don't use this character anymore. But yeah. So yeah, that's definitely the aggro in the raid frames is obviously amazing. With the standard raid frames that you can pull out from just the Blizzard raid frames, you get nothing like this extras. And obviously that's why this is completely superior to that. I'm not sure if there is any better add-on on 114, but I've been using this for a couple of years and it's definitely helped me to bring my heals a lot higher than when I started playing a healer. Let me think something anything else now. So the mouse over macros are just amazing. We spoke about that. Track heal over time. Yeah. Show dispellable debuffs. You can click all these things. You can play. There's just so much with this add-on. You can change. So much options. I'm most likely gonna forget some things, but just trying to go for the basics. So, right. I have where's the party group? Party. There's party. I have that disabled because this is my party. I never see party on over here or anything. It's just waste of time on your UI, and you don't need it. Your party group can be added into raid, and there is an option for that somewhere here. Oh, there it is, raid options. That's under raid, party, and raid frame in raid frames. That's about that. Any other tips about healing? Obviously, you need a lot of consumables when we get to the hardest part of the game, like C-Tone, 4 Horseman, and KT. Then it's when you really need consumables, and not so much on Seaton. Not the problem with mana is not that big, but these are the best healer consumables. Obviously, Dark Rune, Major Mana Potion, or the Demonic Rune, and then the Whipper, whatever, the Felwood one that doesn't share cooldown with any of this stuff. Flasks. We have to get some flasks for AQ40. Probably, even as a healer, we probably need Flask of Titans or Flask of Distilled Wisdom. You have to bring those. This will be in the game at some point, which is amazing. Brilliant Mana Oil. Increase your healing and mana regen. MP5. Spec. I'm not going to talk about spec in this one. So, about precasting, we were talking about precasting. Precasting is a very good thing if you know what you're doing. So you always need to know who are the tanks, and you can always precast in them. You can pre-hot as a priest. Pre-hotting is not a problem at all if you know how to play and what you're doing. You're never over aggro because you can fade, and the hot itself. Let me see. I think this one is pretty high because kind of best in slot. Yeah, 500 something. Obviously, we're not as geared on Everlock, but the hot itself is very unlikely to over aggro, but it is always good to fade. And if you have aggro add-ons, that will show you, and you quickly fade, it's best to look at the KTM. If your name is there on pull, instantly fade. If you see like no one but your name and you start build, you can see. No, I can't get aggro on this, too much damage to show you, but there it is. It doesn't do much threat, basically. Obviously that was 191 or something, but it doesn't do much threat compared to a tank hitting the boss or the mob. But sometimes they might just miss. There could be dodges or all sorts, or they didn't use blood rage or for any reason whatsoever. It's good to always look at KTM or your aggro alert add-on. Or just look if something is running towards you and fade. Now the tier 2, because we're using a lot of tier 2 at the minute, if you have the 5 set bonus, also fades if something hits you, but I wouldn't rely on that, because if something hits you, you most likely die. Anyway, and lep, definitely always have a lep as a healer. especially if you're not a priest. But even as a priest, it's a must-have. Bring a lip every raid. Have a 5 or 10 topped for each raid. Because if fate doesn't help, you always have the lip. That is gonna give you more time, or the tanks more time to save you. Obviously, stop healing, stop shielding, stop doing anything when you do that. Run towards the tanks. That's all you can do, and hope that you're not gonna die. Yeah, that's about it. Another fire, very important. A lot of armor, 1400 armor. Must have added in your raid buffs. Track it. Keep a look on that. Keep an eye on that. Have it up all the time. Let's see, 2200 armor. Without it, 800. So if something hits you at 800, obviously gonna be fucked. Okay. Trinket menu. Definitely have that. Change your trinkets. Easy to change your trinkets. Super handy. Whatever you decide to put in there. Whenever this trinket comes in the game, so I'll talk about that. No, it's no point talking about that yet. What else? We already said about all the server polish and all sorts. So this is not just a video for a priest, this includes every other healing class and not even healing. This add-on works on every class. It's very good. I use it basically on every class. It's not made for the healer, it's just the UI with huge amount of configuration. Yeah. Mind control. Let's see about mind control. You need hit for this too, otherwise it affects duration of mind control. So if you're wondering why your mind control breaks early sometimes, the hit rating, if you're not hit cap for the particular mob level, at your duration, it's randomly gonna break earlier most of the time. I have tested this on this server. Not sure how it's gonna work on have a look, but I know that's the way it's meant to work. So I have 0 hit. Let's see how long this lasts. Yeah, that broke. Okay. Put some, there we go, hit cap now. This is actually quite stupid that I'm doing this. It's not gonna work. So I'm getting cooldowns. But yeah. Get 4 hit. 3 or 4 hit for Naxxramas. Get ready with that. As a priest, you will need it. For mind controlling Vesuvius. The Vesuvius adds to tank the boss. I already have it on my priest. I think I have the ZG staff and 1 hit necklace, which is kinda enough. 3 or 4 hit, I think it was 4. The hit cap, the adds are level 60, so the hit cap for 60 is 3 or 4. I usually go with 4. You have 2 items with 2 hits. You are sorted. You don't have to bring 4 items for 4 hit. So the Chromagus belt has to hit. You can get that. Don't think that many people want that. You can also spec roll that. Or get the ZG staff just as a roll. Or just get some random shit. You can have all that. So we have had problems with buffing and raids. It's not problems, it's just very slow. And I explained about rare buffs. This also helps because you can see them on the screen on your raid frames. I don't have 40 people on this raid, but you can see the buffs in here. There you go. That's good. Resing. Priests don't rest, but shamans usually do. So this is another add-on that is super good. This is not the add-on I'm actually using on Everlook. It's a same add-on but different version. This is not a good version. So for this add-on, this is my res macro. There it is. All you need is talents. Okay. There is no way to kill my own rogue to show you how it works. Unless I have a supper. I'm gonna kill him. By the way, you have two barrels here you can rotate, which is quite handy for having different specs. Where's my casting to a spellbook? Real pro? Oh, okay, that's where it is. Never mind, I'm not that bad. And then, okay. Now, just to demonstrate how easy it is to rest someone. Okay. Amount of rage of this fucker. Out of range. Out of range. So, on this add-on, you just need to look in your raid frames. This Luna has a range tracker. So whenever someone is not in range, once again, we'll go to raid frames. Before I explained about combat fader, combat text. I'm sorry if this video is too long. It's also gonna take me ages to upload this to YouTube. Trying to find it. Range. Range, I think this is it. So you're basically gonna get a fade. You can this is your range track. So if someone in the raid is not in range, the color of their character and their frame is gonna change, and you can decide how much is fading or what is showing here, basically. All right, so you seen that when I was pressing this, it was showing that I'm out of range. Don't know what happened now. Anyway, going closer, pressing the macro without targeting anyone, and versus my rogue. Should have had auto accept, but for some reason it did. Maybe it's disabled. That's as simple as that. You get the add-on, just like the cursive one word macro. Just use Dallas. I can provide all these add-ons if anyone wants them. I think I've already posted them a few times on Discord, but I can provide all the add-ons I'm talking about, such as KTM. Many of these add-ons I can any of this, what you see on my UI, I can provide for you. If you don't trust, I'm not gonna get your bank bank details and things like that. I can send you directly the add-ons or find links for you, but yeah, add-on is amazing. But also reses by priority. So the first reses are gonna go to mana users and specifically shamans, priests, druids, gonna be the next. So it's either priests or shamans are gonna be rest for us, any healers basically. And then mana users, because the mana users, as you know, they need also to buff and regain mana. And the last thing that's gonna be rest is all the melees, hunters, probably before the melees. It does have the order. It makes perfect sense. I think it's a must-have if you want to rest quick and you want to go quicker in raids. All these things save a lot of time. I know some people like to play with 1 add-on or 0 add-ons, but it's not 2004. These add-ons are made for a reason. As long as you're not playing with quick heal and you're not complete retard using quick heal, healing with one button, I think you're good. Or some heal bot, because there's no point playing the game if you do that, in my opinion. But yeah, this add-on is very good, very useful. I definitely recommend getting this add-on. It's called Talus. The cursive, Luna unit frames, KTM. Those three I think are must have. This add-on here, it's a very good add-on, but for some reason doesn't work on Everlock. I think it's probably because the patch. I'm not sure. I have it disabled at the minute, but this when you target bosses or things like that, shows you the resistance, what bosses are effective on them, and you can report them, but it doesn't work on Everlock, unfortunately. So not yet. I have loads of add-ons. Action bar profiles. That's another handy add-on that can save your action bars. Let's say you spec and you wanna reconfigure your whole action bars for the different spec. Let's say you one day you PvP, you can change the whole this thing, have it saved, the whole layout, change the whole bars again for rating. Have it saved, and every time you spec, you just select any of those profiles. So that's pretty nice add-on. Enemy cast bar, that's detecting enemy casts. I'm sure most of you know about that. Cooldown, I have cooldown timers. Item rack, very good add-on. You can select your sets. As you can see, I have a lot of sets here. Resistance sets, all sorts of stupid stuff as well. I think most people should have this add-on as well, because you can bring obviously you bring different setups of items. Let's say full tier 2 for a priest, or you can constantly swap between things, because there is not really a best in slot for every occasion on most classes. There's best in slot for the specific occasion. So I do bring a lot of things. Tier 2, full tier 2 set is very good for a few specific things. As a priest, tier 2. So if you have this trinket, I recommend this trinket. You can do some insane healing, very quick. Because of the hot that you get as well. So you don't have to go and spam max rank like an idiot. So I don't know, everyone knows about this trinket anyway, but you just 1.3 second greater heal. That was a good crit for rank 1, greater heal. Yeah. This set is the best set as a priest for low tap. We definitely need at least one priest to have this set for low tap as well. For Maxna, sorry. So tier 2, if you wanna get as much healing as possible on low tap, you want tier 2. Because you're not only healing, but you're leaving the hot. Let's see how much it does. So basically for tier 2, it's max heal items. Let's see how much it does now. The hot, so with 2 hots, you can do a lot of healing on max now. Especially if you're really geared. I think mine is over one, probably over 1k from the 2 hots on this specific character, but we're nowhere close to that, so no point talking about it. Yeah. So you can see that this for low tap with big gear, it's definitely the best. 400 hot plus your probably huge heal on max rank. Don't crit. Because you still get a huge amount of healing even if you're full tier 2 end game. So that's definitely the best set for that. Get it, use it, get this trinket as a priest. Must have. Not going to talk about this at all. Yes, the stats is the add-on I'm using for tracking DPS and healing. It's the best add-on for 1.12 for raiding, for raid tracking. Sorry. I think DPS is the best add-on for your personal stat for testing things. DPS on it was a recap, something like that. DPS mate, if you wanna test your own DPS, which I've done a lot of on this little blaster here, a lot of testing, definitely get the DPS mate. I'm not talking about 114 client. I don't play that, and I never played, so I'm only explaining things about 112. This is just boss. I think that's pretty much about it. I most likely forget things to include in this video, but I'll be doing more stuff and more stuff in the future. Of course, if people are interested into watching this and wasting their life into watching some retard talking about World of Warcraft, you are welcome to do so. I'm gonna end this one here. Thanks for watching this and good luck.